Welcome to Minor League Esports. Sorry about the little bit of a delay. We got a rough start, but hopefully we'll be back on schedule shortly. With me is Big Mac Dan,
Hello.
and we've got some Academy League action coming up for you. The Bulls taking on the Bears. We'll give the players the notification that they can join and begin the match as soon as they are ready. Hopefully they haven't been waiting too long and they're still a little bit warmed up because it is game time.
Yeah, and it's looking like a very tasty matchup here. Top half of the team in the Bulls, going 15 and 10 so far, up against the Bears, a 12 and 13 team. Both teams with 3 wins in amongst that in terms of overall series, but Bears haven't looked as strong in those performances as the Bulls have. Brokarian now
Brokarian with a shot very early in the game.
a
I
very
seem
quick
to
start.
I seem to be having a little bit of a technical issue, but Big Mac, are you still able to follow the game right now?
I can follow the game completely. I can. Looks like
I'm casting blind at the
oh,
moment.
this is great. Uh, so Arceus wins the kickoff, but it's only as far as Brokarian. He wraps it around the right-hand side corner, but Firehoops meets it. He's going to be able to take this out. Now running it along the wall. Looks to find a pass off the backboard into the center to Arceus. He meets it, but Kleister with a great save. Arceus unable to control the ball, and it's Brokarian with a great dunk on Firehoops to set up the shot. It's bounced just off the post, and he can't put it on target. Up above the backboard, and Firehoops is going to deal with it and try and get the ball back into the Bears' half. Now, looks for a pass, fakes it, puts it past Glycin. Now, over the top of the net, towards Arceus. Ball shot just goes over the bar, and it's going to be cleaned up by Brokarian. And he's going to be able to run it into the midfield. Arceus with the shot right back at him, and Glycin's just able to take it away from Fire as the ball bounces dangerously in front of their net now. Fire with a great demo onto Glycin. Brokarian trying to clear the ball only as far as Arceus, and the ball comes flying at Glycin. And this game is very hard to cast solo. Looks like Brokarian now with a flick forward towards Firehoops, who's just going to bean it to the far side of the map. Glycin's going to be there to read it. Plays it off the wall towards the Bulls net, but Firehoops again. A rocking defense so far, holding the Bears at bay. Ball falls kindly to Glycin on the far side of the field, but Arceus going to be able to control it, running over to the opposite side wall. Firehoops stayed back, read the touch from Glycin, but now Brokarian puts it past him. Arceus is forced to make a save. And now the counter-attack on here for the Bulls, and they're going to get the equaliser. A great passing play. Arceus across the field towards Firehoops, beating out Glycin. And the Bulls are back in this one.
I just caught that one on the instant replay. Hopefully, I'll be back online. Go ahead. Keep calling it out, Big Mac. You're doing great.
All right. Glycin now looking for an opportunity to get that lead back, but he's not going to be able to. Arceus is dealing with it. Firehoops wins the 50 against Brokarian, and now looks like the Bulls are looking for another counter-attack. That's cut out by Glycin. He gets the demo onto Firehoops, can't get the ball past him, and it goes back to the midfield line with Brokarian. Tries to carry it, but Arceus with another great challenge, and the ball goes tumbling back into the Bears' half. Glycin with a great controlling touch, can't get the second one. Frees up the ball for Firehoops. Looks for the pass across midfield. Arceus backflips away from it though. And the Bears let off there, it seems. Now Glycin tries to play the ball across the box. Can't seem to find Brokarian. And now Firehoops able to carry the ball past one. Coming down the field. Has it on the roof of his car. Gets the bump and he gets the goal. An absolutely brilliant play from Firehoops, carries it on his roof towards the net, pops it up, and as Glycin goes to challenge him, just bumps him out of the way. That was an incredible shot and an incredible goal to put the Bulls ahead. Arceus wins the kickoff now, and it looks like they're going for a third. Great recovery from Brokarian. to stop Fire Hoops from scoring there. Now flicks it across the midfield. Both a double commit there from the Bulls. Fire Hoops bumped by Arceus. And now it looks like the Bears might be on for a counter-attack here. Glycin runs across the pitch, gets the bump on Arceus, but Fire Hoops recovers enough to get the ball cleared and back down the field. Now trying to return the favour. Arceus with a great bump play, but he saves his own teammate's shot. And the Bulls only able to lead by 1. Glycin now playing the long ball down the field, trying to make Fire Hoops feel uncomfortable. And he does so. Fire Hoops playing it across the field. Glycin goes up and beats Arceus to the ball. Shot not on target, and Fire Hoops is going to be able to recover it. Brokarian with a good 50. And it's going to be recovered by Arceus. Glycin tries to read it. Unable to. And now Fire Hoops with a great clear. Going to be able to run the ball down the field here, it looks like. Dodges the demo from Brokarian, plays it in front of the box, but Arceus is not there, and Glycin's going to be able to clear it. Arceus now, a great demo from the backfield there by Fire. Opens up the field. Arceus plays the ball, or tries to play the ball in front of the box, but the recently demoed Brokarian is going to be able to clean that up. Takes it past Fire, or at least I think he did. Fire, however, not deterred, gets the demo onto Glycin. Arceus with the the beat there, and it just looks like it's going to be another Bulls goal, and no. Brokarian gets his body in front of the ball. Bears need to come up with an attack in the last few seconds as the time ticks to 0. If the ball hits the ground now, it's all over, and Arceus will clean it up. The Bulls take game 1. And that was a very interesting series. Sorry for the technical difficulties. It seems as though Jordak will not be joining me for this evening. However, we do have a replacement lined up, and he'll be with us any second now.
How's it going, everybody? I am here. We're good to go. I'm currently getting set up in the lobby. Unfortunately, like was mentioned, Jordak had a couple of technical difficulties, so jumping in just to get everything back underway. Man, I'm super close. Let me do that real quick. There we go. But no, I mean, I've been watching Big Mac, and that sounded pretty good, and the game itself looked really good as well.
Yeah, the Bulls had that little, almost a joke at the beginning of the game, a little hiccup in their gameplay, but were able to turn it around very quickly, get that suffocating offense on, and soak up the Bears' offense when they did break out. And from that point on, it felt like a reasonably comfortable 2-1 win for them.
Yeah, it looked like just both teams were still sort of getting their bearings in this series, in this game. So I'm really curious to see how the Bears are able to respond from this point. But it does look like we've got a really exciting series to start us off here. And do you think the Bears really are going to be able to do anything to try and get back their momentum in this game?
Well, I feel like if they are to try and get back to momentum, they have to be more creative with their offensive opportunities. They were getting loads of chances to bring the ball into the middle, but they weren't able to get it past that second defender. If perhaps they would try to go for a bump play or a passing play, they might be able to do that.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes through here. Still really early on in the series, and almost a great start, man. Arceus was almost off to a beautiful start there, Dan.
Yep. Now it looks like Fire Hoops is going to try and continue that. Brokarian able to cut him out a little bit. And almost goes under Glycin there. Arceus with the dunk of a Brokarian, and he'll make it 1 to start the game strong for the Bulls.
Yeah, and that's just a good play downfield. Arceus with the stop. He turns well, gets it right past Brokarian, and then unfortunately on the side of the Bears, just no one really there able to respond. So a good initial start to the Bulls in this game too.
Yep. Arceus now with a good kickoff. Fire Hoops is going to get there, but no. Glycin with the dunk, and that's on target, and the Bears take it right back.
Yeah, and that's how you want to respond if you're the Bears in this situation. What a great touch from Glycin there, like you mentioned, right over top of Fire Hoops. And in a matter of 30 seconds, we've seen 2 goals, and now everything back level.
And honestly, that's exactly what the Bears needed. They couldn't afford to stay behind in this game, especially having lost game 1. it would basically act as a kill to their momentum. Firehoops looks like he got a double bump in the net. Brokarian able to recover, and Glycin now able to carry it down the field.
Yeah, and that was a really good attempt from him as well. Just caught the final leading edge of the ball there, almost sending it through. Thankfully, the Bears' rotation was on point. They're able to get someone back in time as Brokarian again there. Going to be able to find that save, but now it looks like the Bulls have started to build a little bit of pressure there and then sort of gave up on the attack.
Yeah, it seemed like the Bears were very shaky there in defense, and if the Bulls had just pushed a little bit harder, they might have had another goal to their name. Speaking of, Arceus plays the ball long down the field. Firehoops grabs the back boost, tries to get a touch on the ball, but Brokarian meets him fair, and the 50 favors the Bears.
And now they're getting something going downfield as well. Glycin had an opportunity, couldn't quite get around the ball to find a touch on it. And it's going to be up to the Bulls to try and get a quick downfield, but they give away possession. Oh, Brokarian so close to finding that touch. Could have been a massive opportunity for them.
And you got to think that might just play on his mind a little bit here. It's knowing that he had an opportunity, almost an open net. Oh, I say that as Glycin with the fake.
I guess they don't even need an open net.
That's incredible. So Glycin plays a long ball, fakes to go for the air dribble, then goes up again, is met in the air. Firehoops thinks his teammate's got it, and then realizes when he hasn't, oh wait, I've got to get back. And just like that, the Bears are in the lead.
Yeah, and that's going to be massive for them. It's one of those will take it moments, a bit of an oof on the side of the Bulls, just giving away that much space. It's almost Arceirs, though, finding their way back. This game's still incredibly tight, and it's the Bulls pressing really hard in the Bears' half right now.
A little bit of trust there from Brokarian. You saw him try to go up for that ball, then realize that his teammate's got it, pops himself back down to save boost. A pass across the midfield, cut out by Arceirs, and now the Bears, they are trying to open up more of those offensive lanes, like I said. And I feel like they're starting to come alive a little bit on the offensive front.
We'll see how that goes as the rest of the game continues. We are crossing over into the second half now. So it's going to be up to the Bears to try and hold on to this lead. They need it to get themselves back in this series. It's currently 1-0 in favor of the Bulls. So a lot of time still to play, though, and that could be a massive opportunity on the counterattack. And just an unfortunate jump there from Brokarian. He had all the space in the world.
And his pass back across field towards Glycin was not really towards Glycin, and more towards Arceirs. Plays the ball back towards his teammate, who's going to try and round it along the wall. Good read there on the defense, though. And now Glycin going to try and counterattack. Beats one. Tries to play the ball in towards the center. Arceirs with the miss, but Firehoops with a great recovery. And now a double commit from the Bears could mean it's an open net for the Bulls. Firehoops
right there.
across there. And Arceirs will sink it.
And that comes off, like you said, a bit of a double commit from the Bears. They were getting their signals crossed. Brokarian thought that Firehoops had that initial touch, and then when he didn't, he was a bit too far away from the ball and tried to push it after the fact, and then it was just all down the hill from there. The Bulls execute an excellent counterattack, and it's gone all the way back down, and now things are back level in this game with about 90 seconds, and a double demo that potentially set up the Bulls for 3, but Brokarian gets the respawn just in time to keep it away.
And honestly, that may or may not be a confidence boost for the Bears, realizing, yeah, we got double demoed, but we still recovered in time to get that save. Now Brokarian trying to take it out of his own half, gets a 50 with Arceirs that's favorable for Glycin, takes it up the wall, trying to beat Firehoops here. Has an unfavorable touch, however, and Firehoops brings it down the field, now looking for a pass across field. Arceirs pulled away at the last second, though, and the Bears are going to be able to counter.
Well, it's a good touch from Arceirs. Brokarian's up, though. That's near frame. Forces Firehoops to at least get a touch on it. And I'm curious to see how the Bulls continue to respond, because the Bears, as time continues to go on, feel more and more potent on the attack. That's another long clear. It's near frame, but wide. And no one on the Bears side able to follow that up quickly enough to capitalize on the opportunity.
And now it looks like Glycin just able to rotate back straight away, realizing that if Brokarian was beat there by Arceirs, he would be in a lot of trouble. And now again, the Bulls left without a man at the back, and Glycin just can't get enough power on that shot to put it over the line.
And it feels like right now the Bears' biggest enemy is themselves. They've had several really good opportunities downfield They just have not been able to execute in that final third to find the goal. Firehoops had an opportunity, but barring a goal here from Brokarian, which gets blocked from Arcers, it looks like we will have overtime.
And this is a very important overtime for the Bears. They lose this, they go down 2-0, and a lot of the momentum that they've been building this game will just go out of the window. Glycin now trying to control it out of his own half. Gets a good 50 with Firehoops. Bounces over to the left-hand side of the field. Brokarian with a great read off towards the backboard. Firehoops is going to clean it up though, and now it looks like a counter-attack for the Bulls with Brokarian with a great save.
Good follow-up touch there as well. That's a touch from Firehoops. Back into his own half, but he's got plenty of space to try and follow that up. Be interesting to see if he can solo effort this past Glycin, but he just gives it away. Glycin has an opportunity. It's right back down, but it's going to be high. Can they follow it up? Yes, they can. And after all of their execution woes all game long, they execute right when they need it the most.
And it's ironic that the person who was closest to saving that was Firehoops, someone who'd been constantly there as someone to rotate in and get that save for the Bulls defense. And now, right when they needed him the most, unable to make the read, and just like that, the Bears take game 2.
Yeah, and you know, that gets us back level and everything, Dan. And that's a really good comeback there for the Bears. I really felt, especially with how many open opportunities they had to put that game away in regulation, that they needed that victory in overtime to maintain their momentum and to really keep them from, I think, getting down in the ruts. Because, you know, if you lose that game with those sorts of opportunities, it can really do something to your mentality.
Absolutely. There have been several times you can look at any form of esport. You lose a game where you feel like you have the bulk of the opportunities, the bulk of the close open net opportunities, the simple chances, and it just breaks competitors completely. It breaks your spirit. It breaks your will to keep going on. But the Bears able to come away with a victory in this one, and now looking to keep that momentum going for game 3. See if they can push on and continue this winning spree that they're on currently.
Yeah, it's a good initial start for them. They gave up that game 1, but that was close. Game 2 equally as close. So it's still easily within the grasp of both of these teams to try and get back into this game and get things back on the right track. I mean, if you're the Bulls, you're playing really well, and you just need to try and recapture some of what you saw in game 1. And if you're the Bears, you really just need to tighten up in the final part of the field and just try and make as many opportunities as you can. But as we get ready to get started here, I'm really curious again, like I said, I'm going into game 2 to see what sort of changes these teams make out on the field.
I feel the Bulls, they had 8 shots in that game, and they were only able to put away 2. It's not the greatest shooting percentage. If they were able to tighten up that offensive display, they would be 100% 2-0 up right now.
Well, the game starts off quickly for the Bears as they get a goal there. Brokarian right off the bat, getting things started on the right foot.
And you can already see the confidence from Brokarian immediately after the miss. Straight up, straight for that goal. He's got his mojo back now, and I feel like that last game could have been a turning point for the Bears.
Well, we'll see. It's still early on. Bulls trying to immediately respond, but a great save from Brokarian, pushing it off the woodwork and out, keeps them in the lead for now.
Yeah, and now going up and clearing the ball into midfield. May not have been the best clear, but it threw Firehoops off with the awkward positioning. Arce is forced to make another save. And now, it's going to be interesting for me to see how the Bulls respond. They were down 1-0 in game 1. But they came back to win it 2-1. Now, can they repeat that for game 3, despite being, you know, not as in a dominant position as I say that? Firehoops sneaks it in the near post.
And you know, I give credit to Firehoops here. This is a great touch, but man, if you are in a goal like that, that is a save you absolutely have to make. Brokarian comes close, but he was just a bit too slow to respond, and it pays in, essentially results in the Bulls scoring there. Still level, but that's really one you don't want to give away.
And now the Bears, having conceded that, straight back on the offense. A ball across midfield from Glycin. Great touch from Firehoops. Going to be able to take it away from Brokarian. And now Arceus looking to counter-attack. Back flips out of the way of the ball, unfortunately. Ball goes as far as Firehoops, though, who's going up. He gets the beater for Brokarian, but Glycin, with a great rotation back, able to get the ball clear.
Oh, Arsayer is not really able to get too much possession there. It's Firehoops to follow it through, but Bears defense starting to look a bit stronger now after giving away that goal. Their positioning looking a lot cleaner, and now that clear downfield could set them up on a solid opportunity as Firehoops actually sitting that near. Arsayers has to close that down in a heartbeat to prevent a goal from going in.
Yeah, and it feels like the Bulls were a little bit tentative this game. It feels like they're a little bit shaky. They're trying not to overcommit so much on their offense, knowing that that's been a weakness that has been exploited by the Bears earlier on in this series. And now Brokarian with a great double pass into the midfield, but Glycin's not there to read it. A great bump from Brokarian, but it's only as far as Arceus, who puts it in the upper 90 to take the Bulls ahead again.
Oh, and I know Glycin wasn't trying to miss there, but that could have been an initially good fake. Unfortunately, I think it faked even his own teammate. Solid follow through there from the Bulls. They take the lead now. Still a little bit left in the first half, so lots of time still remaining. But the Bulls starting to capture a little bit of, I think, what we saw from them primarily in game one.
Yeah, well, I saw, and the viewers saw. But other than that, Arce is now trying to control it in his own half. Gets the ball past one, but the bump play again from Glycin. This is something I'm seeing a lot from the Bears this game. This aggressive, physical style of play. Glycin forced to make a great stop there against Firehoops. But they're going for these bump plays when they realize that the Bulls are going on offense and they've got a man behind. And they're just trying to throw the Bulls offense and defense off. Again, another demo on our side.
This could be an opportunity opening up for Brokarian, but he just can't maintain possession of the ball. This has been an issue with the Bears all series long, is their ability to execute on opportunities. But right as I say that, Brokarian brings forth the execution on this play, and it gets them back level in what just a competently taken shot.
Yeah, and again, it's Brokarian taking the shots and coming up with those goals, the goals that are very important for the Bears this season. They need to get as many game wins as they can, knowing that even though they're up 3-2 on series records, Firehoops now, wait a minute, almost gets the goal. Glycin able to make the save and then take it back. Arceus, this could be a goal right back at him. He tries to flick Firehoops, but a great recovery again on defense, and the Bulls hang on.
Oh, that's another opportunity for Brokarian. I think he drops it a bit too far right. That pinch almost sneaking past the goal as well. Bulls 2 opportunities in a row, but either the woodwork or solid defense keeping them out right now, and that could pay dividends for the Bulls as time continues to count down.
Glycin going up to try and read. It does get the read, but it doesn't bounce favorably for him. Firehoops beaten on the far wall by, I believe it was Brokarian. Ball bounces across the midfield, and Glycin able to put it away and put the Bears back ahead in this matchup.
And very fortunate for the Bears that actually goes in. If Firehoops had stayed back near the line, that shot was slow enough where they could have come through with the save. So a lucky one there for the Bulls, but still solid placement to at least get that on target. But off the kickoff, it almost, I thought for sure that was through in on goal. The follow-up as well. Bears holding on by the skin of their teeth right now.
And it feels like the Bulls are just getting so unlucky on these offensive chances. Either the woodwork is stopping them, or the post is stopping them, or just an accidental save, like in game 1, is stopping them. And it's just, you've got to feel for them. Their offense is good. Their single, solo plays are just top form. Arce is now with the ball into the midfield. Firehoops gets the touch, gets a demo for his efforts, and Arce is not able to put it away.
That was a huge opportunity. They need to try and capitalize right now. Only 10 seconds left. That's actually a good pop-up from Firehoops, but the ball gets away from them. There's still a chance, but they literally have to get this downfield right this second.
Firehoops with the touch. Arceus tries to pinch it on the wall, but it's going to bounce down, and the Bears are going to take game 3, and they're going to go 1 game away from taking the series.
Yeah, and you know, from that game 1 loss, they really have started to pick it up. It was a little bit more shaky in that second game, but now as we're evolving more and more throughout this series, the Bears are starting to see a little bit more progression on their side of the ball. And I really feel like they are improving game over game. And so it's going to be up to the Bulls to try and respond to this upward trajectory that we're seeing from the Bears to get back in this series.
And note the scorelines in each of the games. In game 1, the Bears lost 2-1. In game 2 and game 3, they win 3-2. It is almost like the Bulls can't seem to score more than 2 goals in a matchup. And the Bears, knowing that, score 3 to make sure that they get the W.
Yeah, I mean, whatever works, you know, especially in league matches. We're about at the midway point of the season now. So it's really good to see, like you said, the Bears scoring more goals is definitely what they need to do to continue to win these games. For the Bulls, I think the main thing that they need to try and focus on, if we really are going to start to see results out of them, is it's just going to be when you get the ball downfield, spending a little bit more time to wait for space to open up. I feel like they're getting a bit premature on some of the opportunities that are coming their way. And if they would be a little bit more patient and just try and capitalize on space when the Bears make a mistake, we're going to start to see a lot more results perform out of this team.
Absolutely. Now the kickoff. It's a solid 50 for Glycin, but Firehoop's going to read it, going to try and pinch it into the Bears half whilst grabbing mid boost. Brokarian going to control it though. Not very far. Firehoops with the ball across middle. A great challenge from Glycin, able to keep Arceus shot out. And now he plays a looping ball towards the net. Wasn't on target, but definitely threatened the Bulls' defense. Unfortunately, Brokarian's shot bouncing off the backboard. Now the Bulls looking to counterattack again.
Well, and that's a good hit downfield. It's a bit too fast for Glycin to get back on top of it. He's got it in a possession again, but he's just got to try and clear his lines a little bit faster than that. Holding it to the wall like that gives the Bears way too much time to try and catch back up.
Yeah, now Arceus almost attempting to do the same thing. And again, getting cut off by Glycin and then intercepted by Brokarian. A ball across the box. That was very dangerous. Looked like both of the Bulls defenders were off their line. Unfortunately for the Bears, Glycin wasn't in position either. A shot there from Firehoops. And that puts the Bulls ahead in game 4.
And it's just a good little pop-up off the sidewall as well. Firehoops, excellent follow-through. Gets the Bulls, like you said, ahead in game number 4. And that's going to be critical because if they lose this game, they lose the series. We do play all 5 here in MLE. So regardless of what happens in this game, there will be a game 5. But for the Bulls, this is really the penultimate game in this series if they're going to try and improve their standings even more.
And they need to get the win as Brokarian just drills it into the post. Unable to get it past Firehoops, and Arceus gonna send it deep into the Bears defense. Up along the back wall, that's threatening in front of the net. Firehoops goes up, and a great save by Glycin. But the Bulls need this win. They're currently on a win streak of 3 games straight. They need this 4th win to keep that going. And Brokarian with a shot, Arceus with the save. Honestly, they need to take this game for momentum's sake, because otherwise the Bears are just going to run rampant over them game 5, in my opinion.
Yeah, that they are. Still opportunities opening up in this game. It's just, for the Bears, it really feels like they are just not getting a whole lot of opportunities, which is not what can be said for the Bulls. Firehoops making an opportunity and capitalizing on it at the same time. What a read.
Absolutely brilliant read, drilling it into the floor of the net. And that right there, is a perfect sign of the Bulls getting their mojo back, especially Firehoops, who was unable to score many goals in that last game. Now, getting some going. 2 goals for 4 shots, and now looking to go for 3, for 5. The shot bouncing in front of the net. Arceus is going to be there to clean it up. And the Bulls, they're 3 up.
Yeah, 3rd on the board for the Bulls in this game. Really feels like they're starting to come alive, whether it's just an improvement on their offense or the Bears defense breaking apart. Either way, we're not even in the second half yet, and the Bulls up by 3, looking to send this game into an actual Game 5. But they've got to be careful because Brokarian gets one back on them there.
And that's just a little unfortunate from Arcee, as he was almost in perfect line for the shot and then just jumps away from it, as if he flipped the wrong way. It happens to the best of us sometimes, and now the Bears, seeing that goal, might think they have the momentum back on their side as we kick off with 2:30 left.
Oh, that's a good 50 from Gleison as well. Good save from Arceers, but it feels like the pressure is starting to build again from this Bears team. And they still got a lot of time to try and do something with it.
I love that. Even though he got beaten on the ball by Fire Hoops, Gleison would go forward and get the bump so he can't follow it up. That allows his teammate to get the control of the ball and able to make a great clear. And now, speaking of great clears, Brokarian almost putting that straight in, and he goes for another one. It's just wide. And that could have just brought the game a hell of a lot closer than it is currently.
Yeah, just another really close opportunity there. The execution, again, being one of the things that the Bears have been struggling with this series. We saw it improve a lot in Game 3, but I think now that they're 2 goals down, especially after going down 3 so early, that maybe it's messing with their mindset a little bit. They need to try and tighten up and just focus as much as they can on accuracy and maybe less about power right now.
Yeah, it feels like they're also, like, the Bulls are sitting back now. They are parking the bus, as we would say over here, to make sure that no one shot can be blasted in out of nowhere. And just like that, they move forward. They beat 1, they beat 2, and now they're 4-1 up.
Yeah, and it's just another good play. Fire Hoops responding to that pass oh so well. And with 1:09 left in this game, it's looking like the Bulls are going to be setting themselves up quite nicely for a penultimate Game 5, but still time on the board for the Bears. It's just becoming less and less likely with each passing second.
Personally, if I was either Brokarian or Gleison at this point, I would sit back in this game and just try and get that momentum that we had in Game 3 back. So try and get a goal before the end, even if we can't get the job done. You want to try and get that momentum going into Game 5. The most important game in any series that you ever play is a game that decides it all.
Well, 30 seconds left in this one. The Bulls all but securing their victory. And, you know, looking ahead to this Game 5, Dan, what do you think the Bears changed in this game that led to them losing by such a wide margin, wider than anything we've seen in this series so far?
I feel like it's more like a sort of like shift in mentality. They went from being aggressive with their plays going forward and reading offensive plays from the Bulls to playing more reactionary, waiting for the shot or the pass and trying to read it like that. As a shot from Fire Hoops almost goes in, a great save at the end from Gleison. And that will end Game 4. The Bulls make it 2-2.
And now, like we've been saying, it's 2-2. This Game 5 is going to be really important for both of these teams to try and capture in this next game, because, you know, both of these teams are doing rather well. The Bulls sitting at 10th, the Bears currently sitting at around 18th. So both of them would benefit really well from not only a series win, but just trying to get as many of those individual game wins as they can. Because as we proceed closer and closer to the playoffs and getting more a vision of what these divisions and conferences are going to look like, it's essentially going to come down to game differential as one of the biggest things. And so that's why, even if you're losing, which neither team is at the moment, it's so important to try and just get as many game wins as you can.
Yeah, and both teams are sat in third place in their divisions respectively. The Bulls sat currently behind the Elite and Tyrants, 2 of the top teams in Academy League, whilst the Bears are sat behind the Rhinos and the Outlaws. Both find themselves pretty close, well, in distance with each one, both considering being 3-2 in terms of win-loss. Now, we get to see if they are able to get that series win, take them to 4-2 overall, and try and boost their win-loss differentials so they can go into that top 2 of their division.
Yeah, well, it's going to see how it happens from here. It's a good initial start from Fire Hoops, and just so close, but no cigar on that. Good block right there on the goal line.
Ball goes across the net. Arce is trying to read Fire Hoops. Now it looks like he's going to try and invert the play, but Arce is rotating back, realizing he didn't have that much boost, and he's going to let Fire Hoops do all of the work going forward. Brokarian, great touch though to take it past Arceus, and now looking to put one past Fire Hoops, gets the B, and the ball across the net. Glyson's going to be there to clean it up, and the Bears take an early lead in Game 5.
And they secure the low 5 here as well, but what a great pass off the backboard. Glyson perfectly positioned to be able to follow that up. And like you said, 37 seconds into Game 5. It's the Bears taking the lead first. But oh my goodness! Tell me no, my
And Arceus couldn't put it on!
How
Fire
is
Hoops.
that even possible?
I'm not even sure what I just watched, to be honest with you. Arceus now with the ball into the middle. Tries to get it past Brokarian, but he's going to deal with it now. Fire Hoops beaten on the ball, and Brokarian going to try and send it down the field. Glyson's going to get there first. Plays it across the box, but Arceus going to clear it. And now some order is going to hopefully be restored to this game. Ball across the across the net by Arceus. Neither of the Bears could get to it, but neither could his teammate.
If you could see my face during that whole thing, my jaw was all the way down. That goes in. Glyson was there. What even happens on this shot? It's the pass from Fire Hoops. Arceirs gets a good hit. Oh my, he sends it into the post and through after everything that's happened. What even is this Game 5?
This is a Game 5, is what it is. Fire Hoops now looking to try and control the ball in the midfield. It's a bad first touch, and he's going to be challenged by Glyson, who's going to win the 50. Arceus with a miss, but Fire Hoops getting the touch to take it away from Glyson. You got to think there are nerves coming into this for both teams. It's probably the only explanation for the amount of just randomness that is going on. Ball across the midfield. Arceus is going to read it, but Glyson rotated back accordingly and gets the save into the corner.
I don't think I've ever seen that in my entire history of this game. A double commit on the kickoff. They bump each other out of the way. The ball is just sitting there, teed up, and the other team just sends it wide and then scores an incredible goal later on. Like, I am hooked. I want to see who comes away with the win in this game, because this is unlike anything I've ever seen.
And yeah, it's the joy of watching a Game 5 on stream here at MLE. You never know what you're going to see. You could be seeing the worst play in history or the best. Arce is now trying to take it past 2, can't get it past Glyson. And it's going to be down to Fire Hoops to carry this ball all the way into the Bears' corner. But Brokarian's going to deal with it before it becomes a big issue. No, Glyson just demoed Arceus to try and gain a little bit of time for his teammate. However, hasn't really paid off, and the Bears still stuck in their own half.
That could be a good pass from Arceirs. It's actually right there in midfield, but Fire Hoops just nowhere to be found. That's going to come straight back down for Glyson. Good follow-up off the bar, though. The follow-through not quite there from Brokarian, but a solid attempt downfield. Both of these teams still sitting level right now. Arceirs has got to be careful. He drops that right in midfield, and a last-second save from Fire Hoops is able to come through, but he just can't get the second one. 1:45 to go, and Bears take the lead.
And you'd think after the first Brokarian shot, oh well, that's in. But Fire Hoops comes out with an amazing save, and then again, just inches away. A single touch on that ball would have saved it, but he just couldn't get the nick. And now, the Bears lead 2-1 with 1:45 remaining. Attempted shot by Glyson, can't get it. A great demo, however, on Arceus. Fire Hoops, the last one in defense, grabs the 100 boost. But both the Bears, despite having that numerical advantage, back off that situation. Interesting strategy.
Yeah, you know, sometimes though it's better to play it safe than sorry. I'm not sure if you want to play it that safe. You've only got a 1-goal advantage, and there's still loads of time left in this game. But Glycin Base actually gets a really good hit over there. Looks for the demo, can't find it. Bulls really got to start trying to get this downfield.
Try to clear it downfield, but it only went as far as Brokarian. He got a good 50, however. Firehoops again plays the ball across midfield. Almost a double whiff there. But Brokarian able to put it in the corner. Arce is across the net. Firehoops reads it off the crossbar. And with just under a minute left to go, the Bulls have equalized.
Man, Arceirs goes up for this as soon as he gets on, like, Firehoops, where are you? He's right there. Perfect placement. He just beats that final defender. Bar down and in. And now we're tied yet again, 2-all, 54 seconds in a penultimate game 5. And Glycin with an incredible save to keep it tied.
Yeah, now Brokarian gonna have to try and clear the ball out. See Glycin rotating back from the midfield. Didn't look like he got much boost. A shot attempt wide of the net, but Arce is still going to clear it. Doesn't get the favourable bounce though. Brokarian forced a 50 with Firehoops, and that got sent miles away from the net. Glycin forced to retreat all the way back and try and clear it off his own backboard. Brokarian gonna clear it up the field. A great demo by Brokarian on Firehoops, but that's not enough to keep it out. Glycin couldn't get a proper touch. And Arceirs has just made it 3-2 for the Bulls with 14 seconds left.
Oh, and that's just so unfortunate for the Bears. He took off so early. He didn't need to. All he had to do is wait and for it to drop a little bit closer to goal. I mean, it comes right there to the line. That's a save that you could make with no boost. Just a bit too early. And now with 7 seconds left, he's got to try and get it downfield. That's a good block. But Glycin has got to try and send a pinch. Last chance here. It's not going to happen. And the Bulls, through everything, somehow find a way to steal a victory in Game 5.
And the Bulls, with that, go 4-2 in terms of series wins and losses, 18-12 in terms of game differential. And the Bears slump to a 14-17. 3. That was the difference that was made in that game. It was so close between the two teams beforehand, despite the big difference in terms of league position. And now the gap has only widened.
Yeah, what an incredible series, though, to start things off for this Sunday showdown. Just a massive brawl between these two teams, obviously very close in skill, but the Bulls just edging it out in Game 5. And man, that Game 5 is going to be one to remember as well. To be honest, I can't wait to go back and watch it again.
Absolutely.
What a series.
Might have to mute it since I'm the one talking. But otherwise, it was an absolutely brilliant game from every participant. And honestly, it could have gone either way. It was always down to one goal in every single game. It felt like it was always just one little play, one mistouch, one miscalculation that would lead to a team getting the advantage in the game and coming away with the victory. And on any other given day, the Bears could have easily taken that one.
Absolutely. We'll be curious to see how they do the rest of the season, but I'm curious to see how these next teams are going to do on stream. That's the end of match number 1, but we've got loads more for you tonight on the MLE, so don't go anywhere. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to be taking a step up into the Champions League. You're not going to want to miss it. Don't go anywhere.